Well, we have some massive breaking news all about injury today, and we have some good news somehow in spite of that. But before that, what's going on? I'm Elijah from Sports Talk Indy, where we cover all things Colts every single day. And today was one of the first practices where the Colts played 11 on 11, and yet we had some bad news. This is just happened today, Wednesday the 22nd. Michael Pittman was carted off the field with a leg injury. That's a big deal. And I think if you're like me, you're automatically associating to Andrew Luck's injury, you're associating to Anthony Richardson's injury, you're associating to Darius Leonard or Shaquille Leonard's injury. All of these injuries that have plagued us over the years. You can even go back to Peyton Manning's injury, and it can be a little traumatizing. But fear not, I do have good news. But before that, we go into even more injury news, and that is that Colts offensive tackle Braden Smith. We did a video on him just 2 days ago about the progress he's made. He's not ready yet. He's not going to be practicing or participating in Wednesday's OTA practice, nor will Ashton Dulin. I think we kind of forget about Ashton Dulin. He's still around. He's still doing great. Still having a good, he's been kind of consistent. Aside from injuries, but when he's on the field, he's been a pretty decent slot receiver. He'll be able to give Josh Downs some reps. But the bigger news there is that Braden Smith did not participate today, and nor will he. Smith appeared in 10 games last season. Early on, it was a hip injury that sidelined him, but a nagging knee injury would linger throughout the rest of the season. And then to go on further, Dulin's 2023 season after he suffered a ACL injury. So Dulin's coming off an ACL. Both guys are just struggling with knee stuff. And I think that they're just kind of trying to play it slow as they go. But then we go into more injury news, and that is that Colts cornerback Dallas Flowers is going to be participating in OTAs, and I think he was there today, if I'm not mistaken. And that's great news. But let's go back again. We're kind of jumping around a little bit to Michael Pittman. So Shane Steichen was available for media headlines following the day. And so let's go through this. And in case you missed it, the highlights in the conversation: Michael Pittman left Wednesday's practice with what looked like a leg injury. So I can say that Pittman only bumped knees out there. Steichen didn't have a full update, but said that Pittman should be fine. This sounds like this is a little side note. It really sounds like Shane Steichen is like the dad that's just like rub some dirt on it. It's exactly what it sounds like here, which is, that's good. That's good news. We know that Steichen's not one to push his players beyond. Obviously, there was so much hesitation with Anthony Richardson last year and wanting to make sure that he was fully ready, or they made the call last year to end his season officially. And so I think that if Shane's saying that it doesn't look too bad and that he should, quote unquote, should be fine, I think that's good news. I really do. I think that it probably could just be an issue. He said bump knees out there. I don't know if that meant like a collision with another player. Unfortunately, we don't have footage of every OTA practice readily available. I wish we did. That would be awesome. I would literally just turn that on at work and just watch OTAs all day. That would be fantastic. But that's good news. Michael Pittman should be fine. It could just be like a bone bruise or something along those lines. That could just be like a couple week thing. But either way, we want to protect our wide receiver one and make sure that he is healthy, make sure that he is good to go. Let's continue, because now we're going back to Dallas Flowers, jumping back to the fourth player that we talked about with injury. And that is that Dallas Flowers was limited to only 4 games last season after he suffered an Achilles injury. So we had knee injury, Achilles injury, obviously the AC joint. I mean, we were just plagued all over the field, and yet still somehow almost made it to the playoffs, which I think is incredible. Dallas Flowers is incredibly interesting because a lot of expert analysts are projecting him to be one of the biggest defensive breakout players in year 2. He didn't do that bad. He didn't have a bad first 4 games of the season. I mean, obviously, let's talk about that for a second, because the Colts had 4 games of the season to try and figure out so many rookies. And Dallas Flowers was really budding. Anthony Richardson was really budding. There's a lot of optimism. And then obviously we lose both of them within 10 days time. which is not good. But in addition to that, so Dallas Flowers is coming back. A lot of analysts project him to be a big breakout player. That's going to be great. Add some defensive depth. I've even seen a lot of you guys comment and just the hope that you have for Dallas Flowers. He's coming back. He's coming back with a vengeance. He could be cornerback 1. I mean, that's incredible, and I look forward to that. Prior to his injury, Flowers had 11 receptions on 18 targets while holding opponents to just 10.5 yards per catch while totaling 3 pass breakups. For a rookie, I mean, that's not bad at all. I think he was really impressive up until the injury, said defensive coordinator Gus Bradley after the draft. He did some good things. He's got that maturity, very driven, knows what he wants, and is very focused on that. You see him in these walkthroughs. The cornerback's position is one of the bigger unknowns on this Colts team heading into the summer. This was an inexperienced group last season that, in short, gave up too many big plays while not making enough plays on the football. Following the draft, Bradley said that outside of Kenny Moore being in the slot, the 2 starting boundary cornerbacks position were wide open and day-to-day. Consistency would be a key factor in determining who the starters are. So I think that, we still don't know. Unfortunately, I wish they had signed a veteran, but they didn't. And so here we are. I think Dallas Flowers could be really good. I'm really, really optimistic to see what he's going to do and what he's going to be able to do. But it looks like he's back, and it looks like he's better. And we haven't even a 5th player coming back. Good God, we had so many injuries last season. But they also had tight end Jelani Woods. And I don't know if you've seen the footage of Jelani Woods this offseason. The dude looks absolutely jocked. Looks incredible. I think it's going to be yet another... I really think that would be why the Colts didn't go and didn't really throw the whole, everything in the kitchen sink to get Brock Bowers, is because looking at what Jelani Woods was able to do year 1 with Matt Ryan, inconsistent, still being injured. I mean, he's put on a lot of muscle. I would love to see what his weigh-in is this year versus 2 years ago when he came into the league. But I mean, he just looks incredibly healthy. Looks great. Looks like he's going to be able to do a lot. These are all good things. I mean, obviously, I'm a little cautious about Braden Smith. Really want him to be healthy. We talked about it a couple days ago. He really seems like he's ready to go. Obviously, I was a little taken back today when I read that he wasn't there for OTAs today. But again, they might just be really cautious. You know what you got in Braden Smith. An offensive line, especially if he's already got that chemistry, that could be really, really good. And they don't really need to push him beyond those lines. So if they feel pretty confident in who he is. But again, the big story today is that Michael Pittman was carted off the field, and he should be fine. I don't think it didn't sound like they prescribed any MRIs. I've been trying to keep up with this by following all the beat reporters and all the people close by. They didn't schedule an MRI. It didn't seem like it was anything beyond. And again, it just said that he should be fine, which is good. So these are all good things, whether or not they're masked behind a little bit of urgency or a little bit of scariness of oh shoot, Pittman's off the field. What does that look like? I think these are all good things, and these are all hope for what's going to happen. And on the next video, we're going to talk about a lot of things that we're seeing with Anthony Richardson. So stay tuned for that. That's going to post immediately after this one. But for now, be sure to like and subscribe and stick along as we cover all things Colts throughout this entire offseason. OTAs, mini camps, training camps, the whole shebang. We're here for it.